Hello, Internet people. So today I'm going to be talking about the kind of basics of how people work. And the most fundamental thing to understand is our human needs and our human fears. And there's a few different categories of needs and fears, and they're all interrelated. At its most basic level, we're needing to gain something in life, to achieve something, to build something, to grow something, to share, whatever, making things better. And naturally, what we fear loss. We fear that we will lose what we've already gained, or that we will lose the possibility of gaining something we need. So what is the most important human need is certainty. What is certainty? Well, certainty is that sense that things are comfortable, things are stable, things will stay the same long enough that you can actually accomplish anything in life. For example, if you're building a house of cards, you're not going to do that in a car. You're not going to do that while you're driving down the road because things are moving around. That would be stupid. So you're not going to bother. You need a certain level of stability, of things staying the same in order to build. So let's look at that more. So what are you trying to gain? You're trying to gain peace, calm, comfort. Why? So that you can build, you can organize, and you can use what you already know. And, we only build where it feels safe. It's a huge investment in time, energy, money, resources to build anything. So you're not going to want to waste that. If there's the possibility that things are going to change, you're going to have to throw it all away, that it's a waste, you're not going to do it. So you are chasing that peace, calm, comfort, so you can build something up. So naturally, what are you going to fear? You're going to fear instability and chaos. The fear is that you'll lose your organization. You will lose what you've built. You'll lose whatever you're working for. You'll lose out on all the investments that you've made in your time, your energy, and your resources. Any kind of chaos could destroy what you've built. Like you've built anything you build is essentially a house of sand. Anything can come apart. So you fear the waves of chaos coming and destroying what you've built. So you don't build too close to the waves in the first place. So also there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt that can come at you. There are distractions, reactions that can rob you of your time and energy. And so, it's that kind of get off my lawn energy so you can build your stuff. So let's get to verbs. There are certain categories of verbs. Every verb in the world, anything you can do, any action you can take, decision you can make, judgment, they all break down into 4 different categories. Let's talk about 2 of them right now. So there's the growing certainty for yourself, is what we're going to call sleep energy. So let's kind of take a look at what that could look like. Here's the most classic example. This guy is building for himself. Why? Because he has a stable platform. He has a room with a lock on it that can keep all the children and their grubby hands off of his toys. So he can build his serious train set thing that he is working on. It's a serious business. Get off his tiny little microscopic lawn. But then you can also build conceptually. You don't have to, build things physically. You can build out a concept in your head and refine things and organize it and hone down exactly what it is that you're building, some plan for the future, some organized conceptual whatever. For example, Eminem here is writing songs, writing his music, or you could think of this as like Seinfeld also with his yellow pads, sketching his ideas, creating, building something. And then we got this guy, because he has built up all of his systems and how they nerd style work together. He hasn't narrowed down all of his physical stuff. He's got it all laid out there. He's not missing any stuff. He's got all the stuff, but it's carefully organized into a system that he can use. And because he's done that, he can now move very, very quickly in life because he's built up that organization. So anything he needs, he knows where it is, knows where to go and get it, knows where to put it back when he's done with it. And he can accomplish bigger things built off of a platform of stability that he's built up over time. And then there's also creating fictional worlds and stories and concepts. Star Wars guy, what's his name? George Lucas was notorious for building and working and refining things over time, over a long period of time, really in the same world, building for a long time. But then it can also get into stuff like this that's much more physically active, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so we talked about growing certainty for yourself using what we call sleep energy. Now, how do you share that with other people? So if you want to give certainty, share certainty with other people, that's what we call blast. So what does blast look like? It notoriously looks like teaching. So you've got your organized, known information that you are certain about, that you are rock steady on, and you are going to share it to other people. So it's coming from your sense of organized, known concepts, and you're sharing it to other people to give them certainty, to help them. And you can be super aggressive with it. You can teach logically, or you can teach or control with more of a vibe sort of thing. Like Cesar Millan is not logically helping these animals to reason on why they should obey. He's figured out a way to control them in a way that they understand and that makes sense to them in their perspective. But it's also, sharing your known information, just like telling a story. You're not necessarily teaching somebody, but you are sharing your known stable information with other people. And there's also things like oh man, what is her name? Oh, good grief. It does not spark joy to forget people's names. But anyway, she helps to bring that certainty and that stability to other people by giving them not just organization and stability in the moment, but kind of teaching people how to get that certainty for themselves. So those are kind of the two categories of how to actually accomplish certainty in real life for yourself and for others. And so why would chaos be bad when you're blasting? So say you're trying to teach somebody something, trying to control a situation or whatever. If somebody comes in and distracts everybody, then that destroys what you've been trying to build. What you're building there is building some understanding in somebody else. It's usually through information. But if somebody comes in, like Cesar Millan, if somebody came in and distracted those dogs and started throwing balls around and making loud noise, Cesar Millan is not going to be super thrilled with that because you are destroying what he's trying to build. Or like in an interview, somebody's trying to share a story, somebody's trying to get to a point. If you jump in and give the punchline ahead of time, you're destroying their sense of stability. They're not going to want to share as much in the future, might not want to hang around with you. And then if somebody's trying to control a situation, kind of trying to teach and get to a point, if you come in and change the subject, or you're like, what if we brought in more and new stuff? Like that kind of destroys the whole point of what we're trying to do here. there's a time and a place. So where is the time and place? Well, that's what we'll talk about next time, because human beings also need variety.